So for this kindergarten launching the writing workshop unit, when you scroll down after you've read through the overview, you've got two different links, the resources packet and the unit with the lesson plans. I'm going to open up the lesson plans, and I have with us today Linda Fox, kindergarten expert and past teacher and literacy expert, here with me today to talk about this unit and some of the things that you'll want to be aware of as you launch.
The launching unit in kindergarten builds upon the storytelling from the oral language unit. They will take their stories and begin to see how what we say we can write down. The routines of writing workshop are incorporated into the mini lessons. If you look at the graphic organizer and then go on to read the sequence of the lessons and the resources and materials that you will need to prepare ahead of time. This information is found on pages 4 and 5 of the lesson packet. It is strongly recommended that you think about how you want to organize the materials. Taking time to teach them about the procedures and the management of the materials in the beginning of the year will be well worth your time. Before you begin the immersion phase of the unit, you will need to give an on-demand assessment for your baseline data. This will also give you the information that you will need to move the individual writers along the pathway progression. The prompt and the instructions are on page 8 of the unit. Take a minute and look at that. You will want to give the students pre-made booklets to do this on demand to help convey your expectations for a story over pages. It is recommended that that booklet be 3 to 4 pages. The next step is the immersion phase. Remember, this phase is meant to be completed before the lesson sequence. Take the time to read pages 9 and 10 of the lesson packet. Here are some tips for the unit. Number 1. Session 1 builds on their knowledge of a specific book, Too Many Toys by David Shannon. You will want to have read this at another time of the day prior to this session. Number 2. Pay attention to the anchor charts and again, make them with the students and make them kid-friendly. Number 3. Session 2 is when the student will finally use paper. Number 4. From past experience, it is suggested that the students have a special writing tool that is only used for writing workshop. Flair pens work very well, yet they are very expensive, but well worth the money since they will last when they are properly used. If you go to pencils, take off the erasers and do not start them on the road of erasing. They will get sidetracked too often on that road. Number 5, do not forget to share. You do not need to gather them again at the meeting area, but simply highlighting the work of a student who attempted the point of the mini lesson, or reiterating the way a student or table followed procedures is ample to wrap up the lesson. It's another chance to repeat your teaching point. There are good suggestions on each session for after the workshop share. Number 6, read the tips for each session. They are so helpful. It might be helpful to read them ahead of time so you have ample time to prepare. Number 7, the resource packet will have paper choices, student sample and checklists for observing student behaviors. There are also charts that would be ideal to reproduce for each student to keep in their writing folders, and also ones that can be enlarged poster size for classroom walls. The editing checklist is a tool for the students to use. Number 8. In the professional resource section, you will see resources listed from Lucy Calkins and colleagues at Teachers College. The original units are a nice resource to keep handy, but you will also want to look at her newly released Common Core aligned materials, if possible, for the latest updates on checklists and rubrics. It will be up to you and your district to decide what you will use for your main source of assessment materials.